So in example 1, we're going to find the area of the shaded region. So we're going to start with the area of the rectangle. And so looking at the rectangle, we're going to take 20 times 15. And we're going to subtract out the area of the circle. And if this is 6, then our radius is 3. And so that's going to give us 9 pi. And so our expression for the area of the shaded region is going to be 300 minus 9 pi inches squared. In example 2, we're going to find the area of the sector. And so we're going to look at that if this is 125, I'm going to take 360 minus 125, and that's going to give me 235 over 360. This is what I'm looking for. And then the area would be the radius squared times pi. So I've set up my proportion. Then going to take and cross multiply. And when I do, I can see that I'm going to be able to cancel a little bit here with the 100 and the 72. Dividing by 4, and then I'm going to multiply and leave this as a fraction, 1,175 pi divided by 18, and our units are inches squared. Looking at number 3, a little bit different of a problem. This time we are given the area of the sector right here, and we're given the measure of the central angle to be 80 degrees, and we are now looking for the radius. And so I'm going to say that the area of the sector, which was given to me, I'm going to put that right there, is equal to, we were told that the central angle, the arc measure is 80 out of 360. And then our area is pi r squared. Looking at what I have, I was able to cancel out the pi, and then able to simplify the 8 over 36 to 2/9, and multiply both sides by the reciprocal. And that's going to give me 64 equals r squared. I'm going to then be able to square root both sides to get 8 centimeters. All right, so in example 4, we are looking at the area, the exact area of the shaded region. And so if we look at this, we would know that we're going to take and the area here would be 15 squared, so 225 pi, minus the area of the smaller one, which would be 9 squared, so 81 pi, and that's going to give us 144 pi. And so if we are looking then, done it both ways, whether you want to use the equation or the proportion. If we look at this, we're going to say that we're going to have that x is equal to, if we know that this is 50, then the rest of this has to be 310. So 310 out of 360 times what we found up above here. And that's going to give us 124 pi. We weren't given units, so we're going to put units squared. Okay. If you want to follow through and you did the proportion, those are the steps for the proportion also. And then looking at example 5. Example 5 have completed 2 ways, and don't need to do both ways, obviously, just showing a different thought process. So if we look at this, we were given the shaded area. The area of the shaded region is 105 pi centimeters squared. So that is this right here. Okay. If we were, the radius of the smaller circle is 12, So we were told that this is 12. The radius of the larger circle is 16. So this is 16. So if we were able to do the area of the larger, 16 squared, 256 pi, minus the area of the smaller, 12 squared, 144 pi. Okay, that would give us 112 pi. That would be all of this, including this part here. So then if I take that 112 and I subtract out the 105, what would be here is 7 pi. Okay. And if we look at this, we could say that x over 360 is equal to that 7 pi or over 112 pi. And if we cross multiply and divide, that's going to give us 22.5 degrees for x. Okay. Now the other way that we could do it is to say that if we find y, we can then find x. So if we find y, and I just wrote that in as an unknown, that would be some arc measure over 360. But we knew that this part was 105 out of the whole area, which was 112. And you could see that that y would be 337.5. And if we subtract that from 360, we're going to get 22.5, which would be the same answer. Okay, so either or, just a different way of thinking through the process.